Thank you very much for all coming to join us here at the booth. We're all very excited to talk about Video Surveillance Manager as well as enhancements to our cameras and our iPic solution as well. So I'm the product manager for Video Surveillance Manager and have lots of exciting updates to provide to you today. So really quickly, let's just go back in time. About a year ago, the same show, we announced the first Video Surveillance Manager 7 release. And the goal behind that was to really provide a foundation that will allow our customers to be able to scale infinitely, as well as be able to be flexible while they do that as well. So the idea is to allow customers to start small with their deployments and grow out as big as they need to, and being able to do that efficiently and easily, as well as being flexible with how they want to deploy this, whether they want to deploy all this centrally or in a distributed manner. Excuse me. So, sorry, I've been talking all show, so it's my voice is going a little bit here. So, going back to Video Surveillance Manager 7. So, for those of you who are familiar with Video Surveillance Manager 7, we supported 10,000 cameras when we came out with that. We provided really great features to allow you to manage and deploy that as well, such as auto configuration of the cameras, auto registration, auto discovery. We provided the concept of camera templates so that you can make changes on the fly very quickly. We also brought in additional capabilities for upgrades and being able to distribute the information very easily. So we're very excited to announce that VSM7 enhancements at the show are really built on top of that solid foundation that we built about a year ago. So remember the 10,000 cameras that I talked about that we released last year? We've brought that up to now the level of millions of cameras. So through something called Federator, you now can take all your deployments for all your regions, your operations manager, all your media servers, federate that into a single pane of glass. So you actually can access all of the cameras that are scattered across your deployments, even globally, from a single pane of glass. In addition to that, think about all the streams that you have to manage. We all know that in some cases we are challenged with the amount of bandwidth that we have. So how do we efficiently manage the utilization of our bandwidth? Can do that through something called dynamic proxy and really specify how many streams can go across your WAN and be able to fan that out to all of the users that can see that stream. Going back to MediaNet. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Robert. So with all these thousands of cameras that we have out there deployed, how do you actually manage that in the way to ensure that every single user that sees this video gets quality video? And that's when MediaNet comes in. And we'll invite you later to see our demo here with Action Packed with MediaNet. But MediaNet allows you to see, basically, do a trace of the entire flow across the network, bring in statistics, and be able to monitor that live. And in addition to that, we talked about flexibility, being able to deploy this centrally or distributed. We have announced 3 brand new architectures. These are all tested and validated, both in-house as well as by our customers. The first architecture there is centralized data center architecture. So think of citywide surveillance, where you have hundreds and thousands of cameras all scattered across the city. You can actually bring that all into a central data center, virtualize that to be able to leverage all the resources that you have and be able to manage that centrally. Second architecture is the distributed architecture centralized management. This is probably one of the more popular deployment models that we've seen. This is in the case where you have distributed recording and cameras out at each one of these sites, but you still want to be able to centrally manage and monitor that. And the last one is a highly distributed model, where every single site out there needs to operate independently. But the benefit of having a federator for a distributed environment is, even though everything is distributed, you could still centrally monitor everything through what we call a federator. So we've talked quite a bit about scalability, about flexibility. What about efficiency, right? Our customers today, those of you here, spend a lot of time investigating your video feeds, right? So you've done continuous recording for the last several weeks. An incident occurs. You just found out about it now. Rather than having an investigator sit there for hours to sift through video, you basically can have them go through, select a time period, and have our video surveillance manager do an intelligent search for all the motion that's happened in that time period and be able to show that to you as just thumbnails. You literally could take hours and hours of investigation time down to literally just, a few hours. In addition to that, another enhancement that we're doing for analytics is metadata recording. Metadata is extremely important. Video is just video. Making that video intelligent by bringing metadata into it is very important. So we work with a lot of third-party analytics vendors here, very strong vendors in this business to help generate that metadata. But what we can do is provide the recording to bring that metadata back into the system, index it, correlate it with our video. So if you have any business intelligence applications, you can actually have that application take that video directly from Video Surveillance Manager and analyze that. And then last but not least, going back to the flexibility story, as our networks grow, we have to be flexible in where we can put our cameras. Today, all our cameras are in the buildings. Tomorrow, what about putting cameras on buses, on trains, cell towers, you name it. And every time you put it into a special environment, not only do you need to ruggedize a lot of these things, but you have to think about network connectivity. If it's a bus, are we always connected? So we're also announcing the capability to record the video on the SD cards on the cameras and then having Media Server intelligently pull that data out as it goes over the proper network to be able to do so. So going back to MediaNet a little bit, we touched on MediaNet a little bit. Again, it's very important for us to understand that providing video on the network isn't as easy as everyone thinks, right? It's the same network that you run every other application. Being able to understand the network, being able to know when problems occur, what problems occur, as well as instantly resolve that problem is very important. And that's when MediaNet comes in. MediaNet provides a foundation to take all the information in the network and bring that out and help you troubleshoot and help you deliver quality video. So what we do is we provide visualization through a partner called ActionPact I mentioned earlier to visualize the entire flow from the camera to the media server that's recording it all the way out to the client. And we can pick up all the statistics along the way between the camera and the client and bring that back to the administrator so that he or she can resolve the issue quickly. And I really recommend that everyone go and take a look at the demo here for that because it's a fantastic demo. And then last but not least, we also have our intelligent cameras. So we all think of cameras here as sensors out there that retrieve video. Not anymore, right? Cameras have now become very smart devices, very similar to our iPhones, our smartphones. We can now run applications on the camera itself. So you can bring business intelligence out into the edge, run applications, think about analytics. In addition to that, audio applications. We work with a lot of really great vendors. We have a very strong ecosystem of partners that provide applications for our cameras. Back behind here is a demonstration of IntuVision running on our cameras as well. So with that, I just want to conclude my presentation here. And again, we have lots of great demos here, and we encourage all of you to go and take a look at the demos and ask any questions.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you for your time.
Awesome. I, as your host, will be the one that's giving away the $100 Amazon gift card that's currently in my front right pocket. What we need to do is we need to collect these forms. So if you fill them out, pass them up to Dawn right now.